there, everyone, and welcome to our weekly Wednesday chat. One of the topics I just wanted to talk about today was the business of surface design. So one of the great things about surface design is that there are so many different options for you out there as a designer. Normally on these lives, I talk about my blog post, and my blog, which many of you received because you're on my email list, was about Notre Dame de Paris, which it obviously burned on Monday, but I can't go there. So you guys know, if you read my blog post, that it's extremely emotional for me because I grew up in Paris, and you can read the blog post. I did a little illustration of the facade of Notre Dame, which luckily survived, and I'm actually going to Paris on Friday. I leave on Friday. I'm going to be there for 2 weeks. So one of the most important things when you're getting started in the business side of surface design is to really make sure that you're spending a lot of time on your creativity and what you love the most. So my biggest piece of advice is continue to really go inward. Continue to examine what it is that you love, what the process is that you go through to create your artwork that you absolutely love, how much time and energy that takes within your day as you start to think about how to turn it into a business. One of the most important things is to ensure that whatever you want that business to eventually be, that it be grounded in a place that you absolutely love, and that you wake up every day and you cannot wait to jump out of bed to both do creative work and to support your business. And my journey took a couple of twists and turns. So when I first got started in surface design, that was about 3 years ago now, I was very much in my first year just completely focused on learning. And the way I would really encourage you to also just lean into where you are right now. So lean into the exploratory work you're doing in surface design, lean into this creative period where you're just creating a bunch of patterns and you're learning new techniques and you're finding out what you really love, because that will help your unique style emerge, and will also help you understand, as you start to think more on the business end, how do you want to spend your energy and what is going to continue to bring you joy every single day. So when I got started, after I got my foundation in place in terms of feeling like I had a unique style and I had something to offer to the world and I was ready to put it out there, I initially thought that I was going to go down this path of hard goods. And what I mean by hard goods is things in this sort of in the stationery and technology space. So not fabric. I love all of the items that you have on your desk, whether that is a notepad that has a pretty pattern on the bottom, or whether that's a set of pencils that have a beautiful pattern that's wrapped around the pencil, or if that's a paperweight that has a beautiful pattern that you see inside it. I have a really pretty photograph of one that I made several years ago that's on my website. It's a little watercolor orange poppy that you can see inside the bottom of the paperweight. And I just love those kind of accessory items, as well as cards and notebooks, and then also iPhone cases, because I love to always have like a new iPhone case that has one of my designs on it. And so I definitely wanted to start down that path. I wanted to get print-on-demand shops up and running so that I could earn a little bit of passive income. I wanted to also purchase some of my own products so that I could do pop-up shops. And what I discovered, it might have taken me 6 months or maybe a year to sort of discover, was that along that path, I also discovered that I love to teach. And I come from a family of teachers, and in fact I married into a family of teachers. My mom was a teacher, my grandfather was a high school teacher, my aunt has been a teacher off and on in her life, my older sister is a professor at the university. She teaches at UMass Amherst, and my husband, who's a lawyer, his mom and dad were both teachers. They both taught in high school in the Los Angeles area. And so the reason I'm just bringing that up is because my business now has sort of evolved towards a more heavily weighted teaching component, because I love that part of the business. I love to teach everything I know. I love to interact with you guys and provide you with encouragement and support, and try to understand kind of where you are right now and what would be most valuable for you to learn to continue to move your own dreams forward. And So I share that with you because your journey might evolve too. You might start out thinking that you want to do surface design in a certain way, and then as you put that out into the world and as you learn and you just see how that feels and what's involved and what does the effort look like and where do you need to spend your time, it may evolve as well. And that's the beauty of surface design. There's so many options. There's so many different options out there. And so that is what I wanted to just talk about a little bit today, that there's the teaching route, there is the print on demand route, which is a passive income route. There is selling your products on your own website through either Squarespace or a Shopify type of a website. There is also your ability to manufacture some of your own goods and then do in your own local community, sell those goods at fairs, especially during high volume times of the year. So Easter is a great time when people are going to want to buy small presents, and mugs, for example, are like the perfect Easter like present because you can put candies in it and then wrap it in cellophane, and everyone can have one at your Easter dinner table. And then the holidays, of course, Thanksgiving and Christmas, but the 4th of July is another really, really great gifting time. And so that can be a really, really fun way for you to have more interaction with your customer directly, because you're actually buying some of your own inventory and then you're selling it at a local fair or at a pop-up shop. And a couple of the ways that I first got started was I went to our local, there's one absolutely adorable, tiny little mom and pop shop craft store, and I noticed that they featured people in their window. And so I just walked in one day and I said, I'm a local artist. I've just reinvented myself after my long 25-year corporate career came to a crashing halt because I got laid off. And so I'm reinventing myself and I now have something to show. I've been working for the last several years to become a surface designer. Could I be featured in your window? And she said yes. And so it was amazing. And one of the things that I think we don't realize, that you don't know that people actually need you, right? Unless you put yourself out there. And when I reflect back on that decision to walk down there and show her my products and say, could I be featured in your window and could I sell these products here? And let's figure out what there's going to be a split, a 50-50 split or a 60-40 split, where of course if I'm selling them there, she needs to make some money too. So there was that whole kind of contractual side of it. That was a big learning curve for me. But even more importantly, it was like, well, of course she wants to have new people in her window all the time. I mean, it's hard to get traffic into a retail store into today's day and age because you can buy everything online. And so she was absolutely delighted. It was a win-win because she wanted to be able to feature somebody who's in the local community and would bring in potentially new customers. It would be a great way for her to update her window display, and then it would also allow me to actually sell some products in her store. And it was a tiny, tiny little collection. I only had a minuscule little, not even half of a counter space, but I sold a whole bunch of beautiful cards, and I sold my mugs, and I also sold my beautiful notebooks. And so I had a little mini collection of 3 items that I sold down there. And that was just one of the great ways to kind of get started, to figure out, well, how do I want to build my business? So the message that I would love to leave with you with today is that the surface design industry is an incredibly supportive and encouraging and inclusive environment. There is room for everyone. And I know many of you read my Is There Room For Me blog post that I posted about a month ago, I think. There's room for you. There is absolutely room for you. And I wanted to make sure that I came on today to talk a little bit about the business side of surface design, so that you can start to think about, well, which one of those resonates with me? Which one of those do I think will be the place where I want to spend the most effort? Which are the ones that are going to continue to bring me the most joy and to be the place where you want to be spending your time and your energy and your focus. I always like to say in closing that I am Anne La Follette, and it's never too late to create. So have a wonderful rest of your day, all of you, and I will see you again next week. I will be broadcasting from a different location because I will be in Paris, and I guess I don't know exactly where I'm going to be if I can't get access to my apartment, which is right behind Notre Dame, but I will be broadcasting from there, and so I look forward to seeing you then. All right, bye for now.